Hello everyone. Just a pinch of lateness today. Hello. How's everyone doing today? Well, I am a little bit late. Oh. Didn't do any of my pre-stream checks. Hopefully the music's not too loud. I did not check it. There are a few things that I didn't get done today. So reason for my tardiness today. I got off work late by about an hour. And then I've just been fighting for an hour. Basically just missing an entire hour of my usual time between work and stream. So had a really quick, not even a meal, it was technically a snack. I just had some, chips and dip, and that was about it. Then chugged some water and refilled a bottle. But hopefully the music isn't too loud because I didn't do any checks beforehand. I realized belatedly that I had not decided what I was going to play today, and then realized, oh wait, no, I know exactly what I'm going to be playing today. And then I promptly forgot once again that I knew exactly what I was going to be playing today. I think that has more to do with I just couldn't decide what it was that I was going to play, because I hadn't, even though I quite knew at that point. Anyways, enough jibber jabber, let us begin. We are going to be playing a game called A Pinch of Magic, which looks very adorable. I mean, I loved the art style on Steam. It looked really good. This is a very recent game. It only came out just, I think, a couple of months ago. I don't recall. I've closed my Steam, so I don't remember anymore. But yeah, so this one I believe is a newer game. It only came out earlier this year. Very highly rated, and it looked really good, so definitely has been on my list for a bit. And I figured, what with, the equinox and all of that, might as well play something a little magical. Technically, equinox is yesterday? Today? I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, it looks like an adorable game, and let's hop right in. So we'll see about how long today's stream is going to be. I know that I started a bit late, so yeah, I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday. I'd have to look it up, but it is what it is. What is your name? My name is Gray. I could put Grayson, but I'll just put Gray for now. Ah, look it! We got options! Yay! I wasn't sure. I know that in all of the descriptions they referred to the protagonist as they, them, so I wasn't sure if it just meant that there was a male and a female version. Okay. Well, this individual looks very nice. This individual is wearing clothes that I'd probably wear pretty frequently, though. So I think I'll go with them. That looks about right. I mean, that's closer to my hair. My hair is much shorter than that, but it's closer to my hair. I'm not a fan of chokers. On other people, they look amazing. I don't like chokers on my own. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Rorschach? Don't worry, you didn't miss much. We just started. I was late today. But I told you to, because you're my audience. So I let the two of you know I was going to be late to stream today. Yeah, I don't like chokers for an extended period of time. Also, those shorts look very tight, and that's not really my... So this is definitely clothes that I would wear. So we're going with this burn. No, I didn't want to... Okay, there we go. I don't know what sound that is. It's weird with my name. I shouldn't have put Gray. I should have named it something else. Okay, anyways, let's see. I don't know what that... I let out a freeing yawn. There we go. Literally never seen me in a crop top. Yeah, that's because I don't own any. Well, yeah, no, I don't really own any. I had to think about that for a moment. I think I think I might own one somewhere in the back of my closet somewhere. I let out a freeing yawn as I leaped down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Ooh, where are we going? Finally made it. I can just say this in my own voice. Don't even have to make a voice for it. It's just me. Oh, it gets really quiet when the music stops. Okay, thank you. Almost didn't see the notification because I was doing something. That's okay. No one is obligated to come watch my streams, so don't feel as though you have to be here. I appreciate you being here, definitely, and I'd miss you if you weren't, but no one has to be here. I will not be upset if you're not. Drinking in the familiar surroundings, I take a moment to execute some quick squats. Nah, that ain't gonna happen, honey. The brisk stretcher size is exactly what my compressed muscles ordered, all stiff from the several long-hour bus ride from the city to the sea. That sounds kind of familiar. It's not an obligation, it's a sworn duty. Gosh. Aw, you guys are too sweet. I wonder if this is how Jack in the Boxes feel when they pop out. Newly energized, I extend my arms to the tropical sun, as if to pluck it from the sky and take in a greedy lungful of delicious sea air. Well, you're not in my area of the sea air, where it's a bit more polluted. But I will say that I am rather fond of the Gulf Coast sea air. It's a lot nicer than the desert air, I suppose. As always, the warm climate here on the coast feels as though it's welcoming me back home, back to the place where I belong. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace and respite. I just graduated high school, and from now on, there'll be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with every breath that I'm waiting to the end of my teenage years with no direction, just the sun, the sea, and this place. My destination, the tranquil seaside town of Linsdale. Nestled in a quiet, crescent-shaped cove on the coast and licked by the starry, deep blue waves of the East Sea specifically, some people have taken to affectionately nicknaming it Moon Bay. A pretty occultic name, all things considered. It's not Glensdale, it's Linsdale. It's Linsdale. The Dale of Lins, not Glens. But it always seemed perfectly apt because it's also the town my grandmother, my Baba, calls home. And she just so happens to be an exceptional, an absolutely eccentric witch. We stan her. All these years later, and I still wouldn't put it past her to have coined Moon Bay herself, just because it might help drum up business among the magic folk. For the first time in 3 years, she'd asked me to visit this summer, and I can't wait to resume my magic training. My fingers, electrified, are already tingling at the prospect. I reach into the pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she'd sent me, making sure it's still there. I stand a strong, independent witch. Honestly, yes, we all stand strong, independent witches. Cursive on vellum and a wax seal. Yep, nobody except that wily old woman would write like this anymore. There's no time like the present. Unable to hide my eagerness to see her again, I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at a sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairway's end, I see the sight I've longed for and open my lungs wide. Hello, coffee curiosities! Curiosities. I love it, curiosities. Hello, coffee curiosities. I'm home. My grandmother's cafe stands before me, a static monument among the other buildings, literally unchanged, like a moment in time, perfectly preserved the way I always remembered it. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in summer, sea salt ice cream. Ooh, sea salt ice cream is so good. And freer days spent under Baba's tutelage. That, in itself, is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound. Naturally, my peppy cry draws the attention of several passers-by outside the store, many of whom recognize me and wave in greeting. Well, I'll be, if it isn't Gray. Been a spell since you've been back. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person, I see. Well, she's not wrong. I guess I am a little old to be shouting in public. Nah. Looks like Gray is turning over a new leaf. But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm, every sentence a spell. Now that I think about it, it's totally possible she was just hoodwinking an extremely gullible 5-year-old. But, well, yeah, turning over a new tea leaf? Ha 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 ha. It's a cute tradition, so who cares? I wave energetically back. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandmother is about? That question seems to give her pause, and she forces a smile, which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. There we go. Oh, you mean she... Well, I'm not too sure. Haven't been in for a coffee for a while, you see. Anyway, nice seeing you, kid. Before I have a chance to respond, she scuttles off over the hill, leaving me stranded in confusion at the shop door. Oh no, what's going on? What in the hemlock was all that about? Glancing over the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally notice one extremely telling clue. It's the height of morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight. Fishier still is how quiet it is. Wait, don't tell me. I practically kick the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all of my suspicions are confirmed. Not only are the lights all switched off, not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked with complete disregard to nasty draughts, thieves, or trespassers, but on top of that, Baba is nowhere to be found. The lingering, mingled fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffees temporarily catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind with happy memories, but I quickly remember why I'm here. I stomp across the cafe floor in big strides, making a beeline for the door at the far end of the room, a door hidden behind a heavy satin curtain and bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. What the hell, Baba? Yeah, right? Baba? Baba! I stop dead in my tracks. In the secret room, piled floor to ceiling with mystical objects, is Baba's crystal ball table. A table radiating with memories of afternoons sitting on her lap, poring over dusty tomes and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now, on that table, clearly awaiting my arrival, is a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter folded into the shape of a miniature rabbit. When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds up from its slumber, hopping to the table's edge to greet me. I would recognize this magic anywhere. Baba would while away hours folding these critters for me as I studied until she had gifted me the entire animal kingdom out of paper, and never failed to put a smile on my face. Which can only mean she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my finger upon its nose, it unravels itself. Sure enough, my grandmother has inked a note in cursive inside. My dearest Gray, I have run away. Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. It wasn't part of my plan, but running the cafe was beginning to feel rather droll. What the hell, Baba? Then I remembered it's mugwort season, and also that the witch folk are hosting a mushroom picking festival in the mountains. Much less droll by far. Do not come searching for me. Write to me, though, if you want me to bring you back some mugwort. Mugwort tea would be really good. Otherwise, I shall bring you nothing. What the fuck, Baba? Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry is empty. I knew it! That wayward old witch. Slumping onto one of the table's squishy cushions, I throw my arms up in defeat. I absolutely should have expected this. Flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping things when they no longer suit her. It's not every day you get shafted by your grandma. True. I guess it depends who your grandma is. This entire situation reaches into the far recesses of my mind, conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how mercurial Baba could be. I know the word. It just Grandma just hit the road hard. Yeah, she was like, "Hey, come on over." Why is that? Oh, you know, 'cause I want you here. Okay, cool. I'm on my way. Hey, Grams, I'm here. Where are you at? Oh yeah, I ran away. Have fun. Don't look for me. I'll be back. Send me a letter if you want a shopping list. Otherwise, bye, bitch. Ain't getting you nothing. Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean, hosting a luau party, then passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch. Her crimes of capriciousness never knew few bounds. They knew very few bounds. She may have taught me everything I know of magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. She just wanted a patsy. Yeah, she did. She just was like, yeah, keep the place running while I'm gone. It suddenly dawns on me exactly why that passerby had acted so suspiciously. Bug? Oh, no, that's in one of the neighbors. Never mind. I heard knocking. I was like, that's not my door. What's going on? Okay. I bet she cut and run days ago and told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I seriously have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. My lips pressed themselves into a thin, stubborn line. I don't know. We could see. We might find out at least her sun sign, but my lips pressed themselves into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite, though. See? I said it! Mugwort tea, though! I guess it's time to go shopping. An hour or so later, I've made begrudging progress on the cafe's sorry state. With the door now locked and the curtains still tightly drawn, I make use of the privacy enchanting Baba's dustpan and broom and setting them to work on the floor. See, that would make things so... I wish I could frickin' enchant the broom to just sweep things. I know it didn't work very well in Sorcerer's Apprentice, but still. They whiz about the room in a waltz, Making quick work of any dust or grime in their path, I guess I could get a Roomba. After a brief inspection, all that remains in the fridge is a curdled bottle of milk. Ugh. The pantry cupboards had also been harboring nothing but dust, but were saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. Somebody is building. It's freaking almost 8 o'clock. What are y'all doing out there? Rest in peace, poor wallet. Luckily, it also seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in plentiful stock. Well, that's nice. At least she didn't leave you completely in the lurch. Well. The exotic plethora of tea leaves and unground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags or dry containers. The siphons, mills, and other apparatus, too, are in good working order. I'm ignoring you. Someone is knocking on my ceiling. God, is that you? I don't believe in you. Well, the Christian one, anyway. I don't know how I would feel about the other ones. Knowing Baba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation here could have been far worse. I should count my blessings she didn't let any rats inside those sacks. That moment, as if my words had personally offended her efforts, Baba's cat slinks into the room and up onto the counter to glare at me. She freaking cut and run and just left her cat there? And her cat's name is Hannibal. There you are, Hannibal. A witch's familiar reduced to a rat catcher. How the mighty fall in the wrong hands. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see any about, and be sure to let me know. When I reach across the counter to scritch behind her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off into the bedroom for an afternoon nap. We didn't get to see the kitty cat. What kind of cat is it? Is it Maine Coon? Is it a black cat? Is it a white cat? Has it got a lot of fur, or a little bit of fur? With the dustpan and broom soon done with their work, I thank them for their service and quickly finish putting the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place triumphantly. Grandma ditched me and she left me with no food, but at least there's no rats. Silver linings, I guess. Yeah. Watch out, Linsdale. We're back in business. Okay, so this kid is literally 18. Like 17, 18. It's crazy. Standing there with hands on hips, it's a funny feeling that courses through my chest. A kind of liberation and pride that comes with being free to wantonly spellcast for the first time in a painfully long while. I miss it even more than I thought I would. Not too rusty, though, thankfully. Now then, the last port of call is to flip that sign, and after that... No, I was not aware of that story, Ash. I don't know that I want to state that story. Like, I mean, it makes sense, and yes, that would definitely happen, but... what the fuck? That was in this town, or in your town? Or I guess in our area. That's not okay. Yeah, anyway. Now then, the last port of call is to flip that sign, and after that... Yeah, I don't wanna say that one out loud. I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. I guess criminally delicious is better than magically delicious. But as soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the far-off songs of a soaring flock of seagulls. And in my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue expanse calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand couldn't hurt. And so, with slow, meandering strides, I cross the pavement and pace down the small stone staircase, heading for the beachfront. I take my time, enjoying the afternoon breeze and the journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes and press on, free and barefoot in the sand. Magically Delicious is copyrighted. Yeah, I know. It softly envelops my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, are like rolls of crystalline, satin sheets being unraveled into the shore, rolling over rocks, shells, and themselves, and gently slipping back to their source. As ever, Moonbay, you're almost too perfect for words. I plop myself down in the sand, stretching out my legs and searching along the water surface for something. I wonder if she's still out there. But before I can continue that thought, the phone in my back pocket hums, and when I retrieve it, I see several texts incoming from my parents. Their messages cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious they're both sitting beside each other, typing with a joint agenda. Oh dear. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. I sigh, typing back my regular response whenever they awkwardly attempt to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to her yourself, Dad. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you, from both of you. After a brief exchange ending in I love yous all around, I fling my phone to the side and fall back onto the sand bed. Don't put your phone in the sand. You're gonna get sand in the ports. Don't do that. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world where so few people are gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those without the gift feared us, persecuted us, and worse. The world was messy. The witch folk decided almost unanimously that it was better to fade into anonymity than cause trouble. Nowadays, as far as the rest of normal society is concerned, it's known that we exist out there somewhere, but rarely do you see a witch shouting it from the rooftops. Despite the good I know we do, there's no glory in it at all. So, as for my parents and Baba, well, Baba had always been an immensely talented witch. The first time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She showed me a few simple spells, and even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy. It was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was an utterly normal life. They asked Baba to stop teaching me, and that was that. Or so they thought. When they found out I'd flown in the face of their disapproval and had secretly been studying hard under Baba every summer for 10 years, oh boy. I remember that day. Dad's face went a shade of blue I didn't think was possible outside of being hexed. After that, their relationship became strained. They stopped talking, I became their mediator, their owl, ferrying messages back and forth. as though summoned. My grandma is currently calling me. Sorry, Grams. I love you, but we're not talking until tomorrow. You forgot. My phone. You can hear it because I have my phone outside. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, that was oddly coincidental. We talk every Sunday and some Thursdays, and I guess she forgot that today is Wednesday, not Thursday. Anyway, after that, their relationship became strained. They stopped talking. I became their mediator, their owl ferrying messages back and forth. I stopped visiting Linsdale for a while to give them all time to cool off. A normal life. A boring life, devoid of magic. I feel empty just at the thought of it, but honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what I want to do in the future. If only witch folk didn't have to hide who we are. As I raised myself back up to hug my knees, I realized that I've been absentmindedly dragging a finger through the sand all this time. I've drawn nothing remotely artistic, of course, just a bunch of badly drawn swirls that barely resemble shapes at all. These are almost as terrible as Kia's. A spark ignites a recollection in my mind, a spark which sends me flying back to before I'd been interrupted by my parents' messages, back to thoughts of a friend from long ago. My eyes meet the sea again, Kia's home. My childhood friend, who had been as much a part of my summers in Linsdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right, a mermaid who befriended a witch. Shy and a little fumbling in the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kia was just about the only sound she could make. We'd communicate by drawing shapes in the sand, and though hers were terrible, I got pretty good at deciphering them. I can still clearly remember our first meeting here on the shore. I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing into the ocean at the top of my lungs. And it was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who'd snuck away from home to investigate the surface, was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisce, a smile spreads across my face. Kia. That's right. I wonder if she and her family are even still swim in these waters. With renewed purpose, I leap up and dust myself off. I tried up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement, but unsurprisingly, I don't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me for being willfully optimistic, as if mermaids would ever venture this close to shore. They'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted all the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with my eyes to the sand, scouring the golden floor for a very particular object. And finally, wedged between some barnacled rocks, I find exactly what I'm looking for. A prismatic conch, shimmering and weighty to the touch. Weighty to the touch. Weighty to the touch. That's a weird phrase. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that, when blown, can sing a song only a mermaid could hear. Convenient. It was an ancient spell Baba had taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times of strife to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Kia and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating to her, "I'm here, I want to see you." Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out if she's still out there, listening for me. As a precaution, I spin about, checking for onlookers, but this corner of the beach is deserted. So, reaching into the recesses of my mind for the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody note by note, and whisper my request to the shell at my fingertips. white of the waves, my bottomless heart be an ocean of love built just for thee. And if thou art astray in faraway foam, the song of my sea will call you home. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. No matter how many times I call, Kia doesn't appear. The waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. So she left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba and no Kia. This truly was shaping up to be a pretty miserable summer, and the pang of pain I feel in my chest is sudden but not unexpected. 3 years ago, when I said goodbye and left Linsdale, I didn't know it would be the last time. I didn't get the chance to tell her. Somewhat sad, my shoulders droop a little. She always was so timid and unsure of herself. I wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. But never one to let sadness get the better of me for long. I clapped my cheeks together. What? At the very least, I know that right now what I can do is see her off with a smile. What? What does that mean? I'm sorry, Kia, but I hope, wherever you are, you're swimming happy. And that your drawings don't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings cathartically into the afternoon air, I turn heel and head back towards the stairs. It's time to open the cafe for the evening. Right? What? I don't understand what. I don't understand what that meant. What? But as my head swims with thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path, and before I know it, he's clapping his cheeks together, how they motivate themselves. I don't know, clapping, I don't know. What? I collide with someone else. I guess that's what, I mean, like, I don't know. I collide with someone else. Beautiful woman. Okay, get straight to the point, I suppose. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. The mump had successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. Let me guess. Maybe not. I was wondering, could she possibly be Kia? Anyway, her golden irises, her amethyst hair, everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. Yeah. I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I run my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention either. Are you alright? Yes, Her quiet voice quickly trails off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. It's her, right? Everyone in this game looks like they're in a state of undress. They're on island time, you know, everyone's ready to, like, at any moment, it's like, okay, I'm ready I'm ready to lie down, you know? I'm done. It's beach time. Well, see, this is sloppiness. This is done on purposeness. Okay, that's right, the cafe. I don't have time to be wasting here. Do you not recognize this person? So I flash her a polite smile and, shooting back up the hill, excuse myself. Well, I'm sorry. Again, have a nice evening. Bye, Kia. I'm sure we'll see you again later. Spoiler. I know. Large leaping strides bring me back to the cusp of the hill in record time. With the afternoon sky already fading into an orange glow, evening is practically here. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't just take this day to, like, enjoy your first day back in town, you know? You did, like, the major important stuff and just open up early tomorrow, right? Like, you have to be tired after an hours-long bus ride. Just chill for the first night. You can start work the next day. Evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Baba's cafe has been closed since she cut and run, but there's one thing I know for certain, and that's that I don't want to keep the Linsdale patrons waiting any longer. That's fair, I guess. That's fair. Okay. It's funny. If I let slip that Baba's irresponsibleness is what put me into this mess in the first place, I'm actually excited. Rushing about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, Gray. Maybe this will be a good summer after all. With renewed energy, I begin to mentally roll up my sleeves. You could physically roll up your sleeves. You have them. Change your shirt. You're gonna serve things in that? Like, I hope you're wearing closed-toed shoes. You're gonna burn yourself. Magic or not, you still gotta have good food handling safety. But just as I round the corner, an unpleasant sight makes my newly buoyed mood sink faster than a stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up onto the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new and clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident in Linsdale. That's rude. Wearing all white is asking for disaster in a coffee shop. I mean, true. Definitely. Especially if you're going to be preparing it. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot parks their car square in front of a shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watch as an elderly man with a cane struggles to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, grasping at the cafe wall for support. He gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the bird to the car's tinted windows as he goes. You go, Grandpa. And if I had any doubts that this gaudy ride would spell trouble, they're blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. Kara was automatically assuming it would be the second romantic interest. I mean, it still could be. Still could be. It probably will be, actually. A tall blonde fop in sunglasses and a jean jacket slams the door behind himself, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car roof, he slips his sunglasses up onto his hairline and clicks his tongue at the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm up and give him a piece of my mind when he pulls out his phone, the latest model it looks like, and begins snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. Excuse me. Fair enough, age ain't nothing but a number, as they say. Ahem! May I help you? Sliding his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. Blonde fop. Ah, are you the owner? I square up my shoulders as much as humanly possible, arms folded crossly. Yes, I am. Name's Gray, and I don't appreciate you blocking the door my customers use. Customers? He cockily raises his eyebrow and looks around at the now very empty street. He pulls down his sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. No, he's hot. Huh. Well, how's about that? I guess my prescription's wrong, because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you have here is a bona fide dead spot. Dead spot? You better not be insulting my cafe. Another condescending smile slowly stretches across his face. He's clearly looking down on me and doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on, ignoring my question. Not an insult, per se. As it so happens, this is exactly the sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and spins his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes as he begins typing on the screen with lightning speed. So what's your specialty here? Cafe Cubano? Chinese teas? Matcha? You do serve something other than salty tap water, I assume? Sure, there's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge with your name on it. Yes, all of those things. We aren't some backwater cafe that only serves standard drips, Will. We? So you run this place with someone else? My grandmother. She's not here right now. Uh-huh. And what's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the damn sign, poster boy. I sigh, loudly and dramatically. Coffee Curiosities. His fingers pause their tapping for a moment. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow at me. Right. Bravo. No, really, it's inspired. A little desperate and only slightly nauseating. He stands up straight and takes one more large, gulping glance at the cafe's facade. Then he flips his phone and snaps a headshot of my startled face. It's a perfect blend of material for my blog, that is. Your blog? He gives me a look that is equal parts smug and pitying. It's perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. I've seen a few punchable expressions. You have no idea who I am, do you? No, I've just been calling you Blonde Flop for this entire conversation, I'll be perfectly honest. Don't really care. No. Wait, but now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't bend it now. It's premium embossed. With a wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy gold script spells out cuisine blogger and the name Mikhail. Thanks. Guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. I snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly unimpressed as I do. His smarmy veneer cracks. Just a little at that. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your coffee wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? Never date a Russian, Gray. Why? What? Okay. I feel... I don't know if that's a... Okay. I'm just gonna let that pass. I'm not gonna comment on never date a Russian, Gray. Okay. Thanks. Next. I can feel my blood boiling. The way that smirk plays at the edge of his mouth, it's perfectly obvious that what his expectations are. Though I still can't... You having pen? Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, traipsing around the country, targeting coffee shops with small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst for their scathing reviews, like sharks feasting on krill. Okay. I'm sorry that you have not had great luck with Russians when it comes to dating, Ash. Luckily, you landed a pretty good... What is he? Is French-Irish? Pretty sure he's French-Irish. No, wait, he's... I've honestly forgotten. I apologize. I know that I knew at some point. Sweet, there we go. Sweet. Apologies to everyone that I just insulted by not remembering which nationality his ancestors came from. Sorry, minorly off topic. We were talking about Ashley's boyfriend. And her not so great exes. Very great current, not so great exes. For a second time, I slide my gaze grimly over his red sports car with its ostentatious wheels, shiny mirrors, and waxed gleam. I suppose when you're the scum on the surface of the industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy businesses wherever you go, as long as those clicks keep coming. I feel like this is... oh, I don't know. Well, he's not going to drag Baba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. Is this going to be my first, attempt to make coffee in this game? Is I have to freaking make something good enough to impress Mikhail? So, here I am, in the flesh. Your only paying customer and all that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Are you going to let me in? I stride up to the door and start to unlock it, but inwardly that boiling blood is starting to boil over. I'm in no mood to play nice. Bug, what you doing? Did you find your crinkle ball? Is it stuck behind the door? Because you keep slamming the door against the wall. Okay, he figured out it was behind the door. In fact, just for the audacity of coming here and trying to mess with a witch's business, I'm perfectly happy to play just a little dirty. With the help of some magic. I don't know that this is gonna go well for you. Bug, what are you doing? Come here. Here you go, son. What are you slamming the door for? What are you slamming the door for? Did I steal? I mean, pierogies are really good. Bye, Bug. Yeah, don't stand on the computer, please. Anyway, slipping my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I start to weave a spell in the air. I step towards him, all the while a sweet smile plastered on my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee. Quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to step inside just yet, because... Ah, our first choice! It's finally a game. I mean, I love me some visual novels. However, it's finally a game. Okay, well, we probably... Prank with magic doesn't sound like a good idea in any aspect, and I've seen enough Disney magic movies to know that it's probably not gonna work out well if we start destroy him. I love the completely different reactions that you both gave. The game is afoot. Destroy him! Okay. So apparently Ash is going with prank with magic. I'm thinking distract, and we can destroy later. I'm not saying we're not gonna destroy him. Just that we're gonna put a pin in it and wait until he gets inside first. So we'll just distract. A seagull just stole your phone. What? He pivots on his heels to see the gigantic seabird that is now squatting on top of the roof of his car, phone in beak. I'm pleased to see that, after being summoned, it took the time to excrete on the car before it landed, too. Lure him into a false sense of security, then annihilate him. Okay, see? There we go. Productive. No witnesses. Got it. Better play nice for now. Basically, yeah, we gotta lure him in and then kill him. We're going to turn him into a toad, and then he just gets to sit there. It's a nice touch, if I do say so myself. So we summoned a giant freaking seagull that shit on his car and stole his phone, currently in its mouth. Hey, Birdie, I'm going to need you to give me back my phone now. It's very expensive, and it was a gift, so... Alright, just give it back, yeah? Deliciously flustered, Mikhail edges closer to the seagull, trying not to scare it back into the skies with the phone in tow. Please? See, if this is distract, what was prank going to be? The seagull blinks at him with bored indifference. A harmless prank, ? Is the achievement that I just received. So, just give it back to me. He lunges towards the seabird like a complete idiot. Finally compelled to move, the bird immediately drops the phone and rockets itself up into the air. And in the process, its clawed, webbed feet tear through the fragile paint and metal on the car roof, leaving a permanent, deep scar on the surface. Well, that's not going to reflect very well on us in his review, I'll be honest. Oops. Mikhail rushes forward and falls upon the car in misery like a man whose soul has been crushed. Hey, look, we destroyed him! We didn't even have to lure him inside. Bianca, my darling, no! Oh God, Father is going to kill me. With timing so impeccable, I'm almost convinced I'd somehow cast a second spell. Mikhail's phone explosively starts to ring. Upon seeing the caller ID, the blood drains from his face. Beep! Father, it's good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii? Well, yeah, of course I can. But, Father, about the car you bought me, well, see, it's a funny story. Having completely forgotten me, Mikhail woefully shuffles away out of earshot to take the phone call. That wasn't my fault, right? Nah, accident, Gray, not vandalism. Just an accident. Honestly, I mean, it was a bird. Like, don't come to the ocean if you're not gonna... Seagulls, you know, right? They're a menace. Pigeons, rats with wings, giant, vicious creatures. Seagulls. Yep, nothing to worry about. And so, mostly smug, yet just ever so slightly regretting my influence on this turn of events, I take the opportunity to back away through the cafe door, swinging the sign to open along the way. I'm sure that's not going to be the last we see of Mikhail, unfortunately. We've thwarted him for now. We shall finish him off at a later point. The minutes, and then tens of minutes, painfully tick by. Not a single potential customer steps inside or even hazards a peek through the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palms, alternating between watching the clock hands and the bell above the door, but I quickly get bored and my twitchy hands tap the counter, searching for something to do. Mikhail's business card is nearby, exactly where I'd thrown it earlier. I retrieve it and twirl it around absentmindedly. Let's find out how famous this guy really is. Whoa, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into the tens of thousands, sponsorship ties to the prominent worldwide cafe chain Moonbucks. a hefty follower base on social media, and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio of monochrome shirtless photographs. Just great. As if I don't have enough problems right now. Gah. And what's with these photos? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn on a hose or something? So stupid. Why are you looking? Why are you looking? Now more irked than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity is doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anyone. Not even one of the regulars. This can't be right. I recall my previous summers here, when there were always non-magics and witch folk around, mingling, joking, and shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then, her cafe had never seemed wanting for patrons. Each day, a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It had never been busy, but it was comfortable. Sure, it's unlikely that there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up in that mountaintop with Baba, picking mugwort and betting on drunken duels. But for there to be no non-magics around either? I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck customers off the street, but if I root around, there may be something of use lying around somewhere. So, determined to be productive in some capacity, I trawl through some of the lower kitchen cupboards, hoping to find something to use to attract new customers in the morning. Sensing activity, Hannibal slinks into the kitchen and curls around my leg. With a pointed meow, she leads me... Hannibal is like... Okay. She leads me to a hatch under a rug on the floor, below one of the opened cupboards. Nice! Good job, Hannibal. She purrs silkily and continues to circle around as I rummage through the contents of the hatch box. There isn't much of use, but I do stumble on an old signboard for advertising and some pastel chalk sticks. This is perfect! If I spruce it up a little, it'll do for a mini menu at the end of the street. Hannibal pokes her little head beneath my arm, demanding scritches for her hard work. I'm so distracted I fail to hear the bell chiming at the door. Good girl. Who's going to get some fishy wishies tonight? That's right, you are. Excuse me? Oh, ow. Just a second, I'll be right with you. Clutching the bruised crown of my head that just exchanged blows with the cupboard door, I totter embarrassedly back onto my feet and heave myself over the counter. A radiant sight greets me. What if Hannah was short for Hannibal? I mean, it is possible. May can always be short for mayonnaise. You'd never know. You'd never know. Oh, hello. Fishy wishies? Sorry, I was talking to the cat. Oh, I remember you. Her eyes visibly sparkle, and her cheeks pinken. You do? Not like that, unfortunately. They have not realized that you are their childhood friend. And or something more. Of course, the lady from the beach, right? I'm so sorry again for bumping into you back there. Oh, no, that's quite all right. So that's what they meant. Somehow she looks kind of sad. Did I say something wrong? An awkward silence settles over us. As it stretches on, she starts to comb a finger nervously through a loose curl of hair. Well, this is a fine way to start the evening, by making my only customer uncomfortable. Flying my kindest, most sincere smile, I gesture towards one of the seats at the counter. I can at least salvage the situation by acting professional now. Where are my manners? You're here to order, right? What can I get you? We have a menu around here somewhere. As I rummage around behind the counter, though her body language is shy, the woman striking, sandy eyes watching me intently, I can't help but feel a little nervous. Here it is. The feel bad. Making people uncomfortable is my one skill in life. I don't know. I haven't seen that skill yet. I personally have not witnessed your skill. I slide the menu across the counter. A lavish high-end tablet listing all our served items, including coffee blends, black, white, and green teas, small meals, and desserts. But this tablet, much like the cafe itself, has a mystical secret up its sleeve. A coffee cup-shaped tab on the screen, enchanted to be invisible to non-magic customers, conceals a hidden second menu, one that displays some of Baba's oldest potions and other recipes designed for more magical patrons. I admit I was surprised earlier to find such a thing myself. A paper menu was all that had existed before. But the tablet looks brand new and screams impulse purchase, which unfortunately also happens to be one of Baba's many bad habits. The woman graciously takes the tablet from me, tucking a periwinkle curl. Yeah, no. Periwinkle is purple, isn't it? Yeah. Not that dark, but okay. Behind her stylish earrings, she begins scrolling intuitively through the menu. She's so elegant and glamorous, and her eyelashes have this beautiful, dewy quality to them. Like black waves breaking on the beach at night. So strong was that association, I was curiously struck by a sense of familiarity. But then... Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Okay, Google. What color is periwinkle?
According to Wikipedia, periwinkle is a color in the blue and violet family.
Okay. It was like a bluishy purplish. So technically it counts. But I'm watching you. It's mostly known as kind of a pastel purple. Okay. I'm trying to think, because... Yeah, no, I don't remember. Anyway, so strong was it, but then... What are you doing? You have nothing new on the menu, I take it? I will be right back. You okay? no idea if I had the right one muted or not. I went very quickly. No, okay, so the kids are all fine. Hades just decided that I had one too many vases, so one of them had to go, which is fine. It was a cheap little purple one anyway, so it's fine. Oddly enough, it was periwinkle colored. He decided that I had one too many things hanging up on my wall, that he was going to try and play with that, and happened to get up into a certain area where he knows he's not allowed to be, and decided to knock over, like, everything? Luckily, only one thing broke irreparably, and one thing broke slightly, so I'll have to fix it later. But otherwise, everything's fine. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I muted my mic and not the game audio, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, now we shall continue. Brief interlude aside. Did I mute both? I apologize. Well, you were just sitting in silence for a while, I guess. I think I only muted one, so I probably muted this one, and then everything else was just quiet. Probably couldn't hear the tinkling of the glass as I swept it up. Anyway, moving on. I believe that character Gray is about to make the realization. He's hiding though, because he knows he's in trouble, but he was walking around just fine, so he's not hurt. I'll have to double check later, but I know Lois is fine because she was right over there checking it out, like, what happened? What's going on? Anyways. Okay, so I'm assuming that character Gray is about to realize that this is Kia. I don't know if it was supposed to be like some sort of secret, but it's not a secret. Like, I know. We know. Hold on, I'm updating my stream title. It's no longer a pinch of lateness, now it's a pinch of chaos. I'm really good at making people's lives chaotic. Since we were bringing up our special talents. Sorry. You could say I'm somewhat of a regular here. I know this place and its owner very well. Oh, then I take it you also know my grandmother is out of town right now. I do, but it's no trouble at all. I didn't come here today to see her. Yes, chaos reigns. She tilts her head shyly. It's a devastating move, but I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Is she enjoying her vacation? Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's having a whale of a time. She pulls stunts like this far too often. I'm half convinced she dragged me here. She dragged me back here just to rope me into running this place for a few weeks. I saw you. Are you okay? Hades. Bob? Okay, baby? Okay. He doesn't want to come over. The woman shuffles somewhat bashfully in her seat, lowering her eyes to her lap. Lois is fine. Lois, where's your brother? I saw him go by. Well, if it brought you back to Linsdale, then I'm glad she did. Just think of this as a salacious encounter. Did she mean to say serendipitous? With a gentle smile, she clears her throat and taps the screen with her nail. The highlighted drink is the salty kelp latte, a popular sea-based item from the secret menu. This one, if I may. It's my usual order. Sure thing. It'll be just a moment.
Bug, you okay? Hades. I see you. You're a bug?
I don't see any limping. You good?
Done. Come here, bug. Come here, bug.
You good? You alright? I care more about you than I do the base. Don't worry.
You okay? Yeah, you okay? Yeah, that's why you can't get up there. I know, I made lots of loud noise, huh? It's okay. Try not to break things in the future, okay? You alright? Yeah.
He's fine. I flash her a knowing smile before stepping over to the kitchen area to prepare her order. As I lay my hands on the glass bottle of kelp leaves, a spark of inspiration hits me. Lois? Lois? Please don't jump in the trash can. I see you. You can just barely see his head.
Hello, son.
And so I prepare the drink with magic. Duh! With nobody else here, why be ordinary when I can afford to be a little flamboyant? With a snap of my fingers and a series of illuminated shapes traced in the air, the ingredients heed my call and begin to dance around me in a flourish. Hey! Stop! A dash of seawater, a pinch of sugar, and the star of the show, the salty kelp. Nice. The kelp blades weave their way through the air until they collide and pirouette, crushing themselves into a fine powder. It falls, like emerald snow, into a basin of a china cup that dances its way into the woman's hands. Pinch of magic is the achievement that we just got. Roll credits. Wow, it's so pretty cool, huh? But the magic show is not finished yet. Last to arrive is the steamed milk, unfurling itself from a nearby jug like a porcelain ribbon. It winds its way into the cup and slowly mixing with the other ingredients. As the last drop falls, I bring my palms forward to bless the drink with one final drop of something special. A pinch of magic. And now for the finishing touch. Could you tell me your name? She looks agitated, as if she has a particular trouble answering the question. It's, Kia. It's Kia. It's not that hard. Just say your name. Say your name. Kiana. At least it's confirmed. Okay. Alright, sit tight, Kiana. I reach across the counter for a thin nozzled bottle filled with caramel and in small, delicate letters write her name across the milk foam. And there we have it. Bon appetit. As she puts the drink to her lips, the warm steam brings a soft flush to her cheeks. A small, content sigh escapes her as she returns the cup to the saucer. So, my salty kelp latte. Does it meet a mermaid's approval? Ha! You probably still... I don't know. Do we know that this is Kia now? Do you know? I hope so. Yes, very much so. It's gumptious. I'm assuming you mean scrumptious. Glad to hear it. But I'm pretty sure you mean scrumptious. Oh, my goodness. This is embarrassing. Human language is still so, hard? Right. I've been studying so much, but I still mess up all the time. That's okay. Everyone does. It's part of the language. Her whole face breaks out in a fierce flush. The quiet elegance I'd seen in her earlier was completely peeled away. Nothing could have prepared me for this. Doesn't seem like the shiniest knife in the dishwasher to be fair. First off, don't put your knives in the dishwasher. It dulls the blades and it can cause them to rust. Second off, doesn't seem like the shiniest knife in the dishwasher. Okay, sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry. Okay, it's not that funny. I just wasn't expecting it. It's like her demeanor has done a complete 180. I thought she was demure, but I guess she's just shy about making mistakes in front of a human. Either way, it's absolutely adorable. Don't apologize, it's cute. The way you mix up your words, it reminds me of... Oh my god, you've been beating around this bush for so freaking long. Kiana? Fucking finally. Fucking finally. Okay. It's fine. No way. Kia? Fucking finally. And so I've been visiting the cafe ever since my Brinling ended. Brinling. I suppose I look quite different now, don't I? That's quite the understatement. I didn't recognize you at all. An hour later, Kia and I are sitting together, lattes in hand at the counter. We've been talking so animatedly, I barely think either of us paused for breath. By now, I recognize her familiar shyness and her adorable mannerisms, but I have to admit, seeing her adult human form for the first time is still throwing me for a loop. It's been 3 years. Could she have changed so much in 3 years? I mean, yes, the fact that, she's walking around on 2 feet. I mean, I guess it could be a glamour. I don't know. We'll see. Perfectly understandable when I consider she still looked like a child 3 years ago. You'd still be able to recognize her. Puberty must have hit her like a speedboat. Get it? Speedboat. 'Cause mermaid. Yeah, I get it. I see what you did there. Moving on. The changes to her face in particular are profound, but not unexpected. After all, I know very well that mer people experience growth very differently from humans. A mer person's childhood, their Brinling period, would last from the time they hatched until they hatched. I guess I hadn't really thought of how mer people come to be. Would they be eggs or would they be, mammalian? I would imagine they'd be a mammalian, not from eggs. Whatever. Until they reached a normal age of human adolescence. Throughout the Brinling, mer children would barely appear to age at all, maintaining a childlike appearance for years and years. And then, at the Brinling's end, what awaited them was a highly accelerated transformation into an adult body, and the ability to adopt a human form. After I met Kia, because we couldn't really communicate at first, I remember wanting to learn more about her kind. I found out about the Brinling and the change through one of Baba's old books. the fishtails, I assumed they reproduce like fish do. Yeah, but I kind of figured that they reproduce like, whales, dolphins, manatees, where they give birth, technically. Since they're part human, which would technically make them at least part mammal, I would imagine that they were actually mammalian as opposed to... I don't know. It's a weird thing. I mean, no, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how to feel about it. As I also recall, I had to climb up her bookcase like a monkey to get it and slipped on the way up. Kia cried for hours when I turned up at the beach covered in bruises. So when did your bridling end? When I was about 17. It was a year and 3 months after you left. Not that I was counting. When she catches me smiling, Kia turns away and scrambles for her drink. It's the cutest thing. But I'm suddenly reminded of something else. Wait, earlier, didn't you say your name was Kiana? Well, after you didn't seem to recognize me at the beach, I was a little embarrassed. She sighs heavily, resting her hand over her heart. And even though I came to the cafe just to see you again, I still couldn't bring myself to say anything. Oh, but Kiana is the land name I chose for myself, so I wasn't exactly lying to you. I just had trouble pronouncing it when we were children. I do use it around Linsdale. My family in the ocean still use my sea name, of course. I probably shouldn't pry into that. Mermaid sea names are private, intimate things, after all. I guess I should be careful not to call her Kia too much around town, though, either. With that niggling question out of the way, I hope I loop the conversation back around to what really matters. So, how was it? Your change, I mean. Oh, it was, better than I expected. The growing pains, were bad for a while, but compared to the others who experienced it at the same time, my change was relatively quick. She takes the last few sips of her latte, then lays the empty cup down and fingers it pensively. I'm just happy that my outside finally matches who I am inside. When we used to play on the beach together, we couldn't go far because, well... I chuckle as I head back around the kitchen counter to wash our cups and saucers. No legs? Right. You were growing up, and in my mind, I was growing up with you. But physically, for me, nothing was changing, and every year it felt like you were getting further and further away, and there was nothing I could do about it. We used to draw so many shapes in the sand, all the things I wanted to do, all those places I wanted to visit, but because of me, we couldn't do any of it. Her eyes glaze over. She suddenly looks quite dejected. Not wanting to watch her beat herself up, I take her hand in mine. We can now, right? Exactly. No more hiding in the rock pools or covering up her fins with a blanket I brought from the cafe. We can stray as far from the beach as we like now. Go anywhere we want. Now that you have your human form, the world is your oyster. You just let me know what you want to do and we'll go do it. It works like a charm. Kiana's sandy eyes light up and she leans across the counter, brimming with excitement. Okay. Oh, but with your grandmother gone, you'll be working here full time, won't you? Then until we can do something, I'll just stop by every day to see you. Hey, do you want a job? You can help. I'll pay you. You want to help? It's just me here. I can't work all day. I shrug my shoulders, gesturing towards the empty room in an exaggerated way. Ha! Thanks, I'd appreciate the company in more ways than one. As you can see, this place isn't exactly hopping. Without a regular or two, quite honestly, I might struggle to make ends meet this summer. And based on today, I'll take just about any customer I can get. Anyone but that vain fop, anyway. The more I remember his smug face, the crabbier I get. It's at the point when I realize that I'm not so much drying the cups as grinding the tea towel into them that... Jingling! The bell at the door rings for a second time. Welcome. Just take a seat and I'll be with you straight... Speak of the devil. Mikhail strides inside, looking the interior over with both hands shoved into his jean pocket with a slightly furrowed brow. Both hands shoved into a single pocket? Impressive. He's looking decidedly less cool and collected than this afternoon, though it's obvious he's trying his best to mask it. Ooh, what'd you order? What'd you order? I thought about ordering some takeout. It's too late now, but at least for me, I'll be asleep in like 2 hours. No, maybe 3 hours. We'll see. He's looking decidedly less cool and collected than this afternoon, though it's obvious he's trying his best to mask it. Nice place you have here. Its drafty cracks in the walls are a particularly nice feature. Ugh. He is not cute. Not at all. My jaw joints creak like unoiled metal as I force a smile. Linsdale's tourism prides itself on the town's invigorating beachy sea breeze. Why deprive our customers just because they're indoors? Cute. Very cute. Sensing Kiana's discomfort, I gestured to the counter seats with an audible huff. Bruschetta, pizza, and... ooh, some ravioli with side salads. Nice. Ooh, I could make some pasta. I might make some Alfredo. Well, sit down if you're here to order. You are here to order. Mikhail slides into the seat directly beside Kiana. He beams obnoxiously as he pulls out his phone. Of course. And I don't need a menu. Just serve me your best attempt at coffee. You going to pay for it? Please. Of course I will. I'm not trying to put you out of business. Though I retreat to the back of the kitchen to begin scooping and grinding the coffee beans, I keep one watchful eye on Mikhail at all times. Thankfully, though, his gaze is still roaming all over the interior. He isn't trying to snap pictures. But it's obvious he's searching for something. A juicy tidbit, a draw for his story. And so, after his eyes complete their rounds of the decor, they naturally come to fall on his neighbor. Are you a regular here? Yes, I come here most every week. His eyes widen in genuine surprise. Really? What's your usual order? If it's that good, maybe I should have ordered that too. Oh, She flutters her eyes to me, begging for assistance, but I'm way ahead of her. I make the 3 strides back to the counter in a heartbeat and step in. She's a special customer. Her order's not on the menu, and it's a, shall we say, an acquired local taste. I doubt you'd like it. Gotta admit, though, I'm sorely tempted to put seawater in his coffee, just for the heck of it. Must resist. Well, that's a shame. You'll have to let me in on the secret of that drink sometime, Miss... Ever sweet and polite, Kiana holds out her hand to introduce herself. Kiana. Just Kiana is fine. And, I'm afraid I don't know much about the recipe, or coffee, for that matter. Just as I become concerned that Mikhail might be about to defile Kiana's hand with a kiss, another one of those pretentious business cards appears in his hand, and he drops it into hers. Enchanté. I'm Mikhail, and I just happen to be an expert on coffee. I'm a cafe blogger. Oh, cuisine? It's pronounced cuisine, Kiana. It means food. I turn to Mikhail and scramble for a cover-up. She's not from around here. But her accent... He doesn't look convinced at all, but thankfully Kiana's pure-hearted curiosity comes to the rescue. You write about food? Then you're here to write about cafe curiosities? Yes, that's the intention. No doubt you've heard of my... But Kiana has already stopped listening. Great, this is perfect. Now you won't have to worry about finding customers. Once he tastes your coffee, he's sure to love it. And if you write something good, people will come from all over Linsdale. Kiana, my sweet summer child, your innocence is wasted on him. He's not that kind of blogger. As I slowly churn the coffee grinder, I give Mikhail a disapproving side eye, and he shifts in his seat. Good, make him uncomfortable. The twitchy guy sitting beside you only visits coffee shops he expects to be bad. His blog is just a collection of hatchet jobs, designed to be shocking and to tank any business he writes about. He's only here because he thinks my coffee is going to taste so undeniably terrible, it'll make for a juicy article. With one last yank, I grind the last of the coffee beans into dust. Or have I missed anything out? Mikhail practically rolls his eyes into the next entry. Hey now, you make it sound like I'm the enemy here. Ask my darling readers and they'll tell you. The only two things I'm guilty of in this business are being criminally handsome and honest. And the coffee they served at all those other cafes just happened to be honestly awful. So just think of it this way. This is your perfectly fair chance to impress me. Not that you will. I've savored all the finest blends this world has to offer, but you're welcome to try. It seems to take Kiana a few moments to process all this information. I guess she still isn't all too knowledgeable about this side of human society. But once it does click into place, she looks crushed. Aw, poor dear. But that's... How could you do something like that to hardworking people? That's so despicable. And I guess that one was supposed to be... Oh, what did she say? I breezed right past it. She said something and I don't know what she said. Despicable is what I read. I'm happy she has my back, but Kiana's just wasting her breath. Besides, this coffee critic just unwittingly challenged a witch. I'm not the one who's about to be eaten alive. It's alright, Kiana. He has the right to do what he likes, and so do I. All I have to do is prove him wrong. So go ahead. With a single finger, I slide a cup across the counter in one fluid motion. It stops just shy of Mikhail's hand, taunting him like a gauntlet being laid down in a declaration of war. It emits a powerful, bitter aroma so tantalizing that it clings to the air and doesn't let go. A mouth-watering aroma no person could resist. The secret house blend, with a little pinch of something special mixed in. I sneak Kiana a mischievous wink, and she understands my meaning implicitly. Drink up. You won't be disappointed. What's the matter? You should drink it before it gets cold. I won't let you use the excuse that it was bad simply because you ruined its flavor by letting it sit too long. Brimming with devilry, I decide to push him just a little harder. As the expert here, you wouldn't make that mistake, would you? Watching him squirm and tug at the collar of his jacket, I realize I'm enjoying myself far too much. Still, I don't take my eyes off him. Stir him down until he finally gives in, puts the cup to his lips, and... all that bravado, and it's mediocre after all. But he takes another sip. Exactly. It's completely... And another. Completely... And another, and another, and another. drinks and drinks until the veneer rips away and he finally throws his head back, shamelessly chugging the hot liquid until he has lapped up every drop, and the bottom of the cup is all that remains. Hunching over, he slams the cup down on the counter and stares at it in dumb disbelief. He's shaken and a little breathless, and there's something clouded about his expression. Did you bewitch him? Delicious. It's 9 p.m. Closing time draws near on this, my first day of running the cafe. As I finish scribbling down orders into a pad of receipt paper, I rip the page out and hand it over. So, 3 secret blends, 1 small and 2 grandes. That'll be 7 gold. He's been scowling like this ever since he finished his first cup. You got 3. Truthfully, he looks more mystified than anything else. After the first cup, he'd sat shell-shocked for several minutes, then sprung up and demanded 2 more of the same drink in quick succession. When they were ready, Kiana and I had huddled together, watching him discreetly over the tops of our own lattes. He never took more than 1 small sip at a time, crossing his arms and quietly ruminating over the taste before going back for another sip. We lost count of how many times he furrowed his brow, how many pictures he took, or how many notes he typed into his phone. After half an hour, I thought he'd finally admitted defeat, but... Mikhail, 7 gold? Right now, Mikhail is clutching onto his gold, pouting comically. He looks like a child who doesn't want to give up his favorite marbles unless his parent agrees to trade him a cookie. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost feel sorry for him. No matter how hard he racks his brain, he's never going to figure out the secret. Wait. Why do I feel more guilty for cheating at coffee than I did wrecking his car? Please. That's not cheating. Oh, right. Yeah. You hear it. Thanks. Here's your change. I don't get it. How? Tell me how. It's all finally too much for his pride and he explodes, slamming his hand down on the counter. How is your coffee that good? This place has terrible reviews. Everywhere. It's a dead spot online. There's no way the coffee could be this good. Wait, terrible reviews? When he sees that I have no intention of answering him, Mikhail clasps his head, defeated, and sighs. He's still pouting like a little kid. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to make absolutely sure it wasn't a fluke. I'm not writing my review until I know you're not cheating. So, bring your A game. Looking forward to it. Ah! He concedes and stomps away to gather up his phone, and as he moves out of earshot, a very apologetic-looking Kiana takes his place. She leans in and whispers in my ear, "Is he going to be all right? He looks kind of upset." He'll get over it, and I have a feeling he might turn out to be quite useful. As I'd done for Mikhail, I write out her receipt and pass it on. Here you go. How were the lattes? Not salty enough? She puts her hand to her face, cheeks pink with contentedness. Not at all. They were perfect. Even more so than your grandmother's. Your kelp lattes leave me feeling completely refreshed. Being out at the sea for so long I can tell I'm nearing the end of my rope for the day. Being out of the sea for so long sure must be tough, huh? Anytime you need a pick-me-up, you know where I am. Thank you. Just as Mikhail is making his way back, Kiana puts her hand into her purse, fishing around for gold. She's fumbling a little, like she's having trouble. Ah, I forgot. I think I might have to call it a night here soon. My children are getting antsy. Maybe she doesn't even know how human currency works yet. But before I can cover her, Mikhail steps forward, trying to act chivalrous. no need to be flustered. I've more than enough for the both of us. Oh, it's fine, I think. Here, is this enough? She tips out the entire contents of her purse onto the table. A whopping, shiny mountain of gold. Individual coins spill off the counter onto the floor. What the? Kiana, it was 8 gold, not 800. Oh. Well, that's okay. I have so much anyway. Just take it. She turns to Mikhail with a sweet. My son decided that it is time that we end this, apparently. Now you're making a mess in here? Okay, so was it breakable? She turns to Mikhail with the sweetest, innocent smile. Would you like me to pay for yours too, Mr. Mikhail? No, it's... Mumbling something about how he had already paid, Mikhail picks his jaw up off the ground and quickly sees himself out. What the fuck, Kiana? Did I say something wrong? No, you didn't. Don't worry about him. I paused, thinking back to what Mikhail had let slip earlier. Kiana, this cafe... Does it have a bad reputation in Linsdale? Late into the night. This might actually be a pretty good place to stop at. I don't know how long. Okay. So we are going to save here. And we're probably going to call it a night. It was it was a bit of a hectic night. And I have to go take care of a few things because my children have decided that they don't want to be civilized tonight. Particularly my son. Hades. I saw you. Anyways. I'm also probably going to go make some pasta real quick before bed. Because Ash, you made me start thinking about various things and such. Anyways, we shall... leave this here. And we'll probably pick that up again next week. We'll finish that one off. And then I've got a few other things lined up. We're gonna play a few like just quick one-off games. That's what this was supposed to be, was a one-off game, but it said that it was like between 1 to 2 hours long, and it's already been 2 hours, so I'm like, So it's either like there's this much remaining of the game and I could just play through it, but so we'll have this much remaining of this game, and then we'll play a few other things next week. But I'm deciding on which series, or like which big game that I want to play next as like an actual series to get started on now that Franbo is done. Yeah, so... Well, I found a few that are kind of like similar-ish, not remotely because I know it's a really good game, to Greece, but like that same sort of style. Anyways, I got a few ideas, so yeah, my cats are destroying my house, so I gotta go take care of them. But yeah, so it was lots of fun, and we shall do this again hopefully earlier next week. I won't be late like I was, well, hopefully, who's to say. I was only late this week because I got stuck at work for another. Kind of crave spaghetti now. So yeah, I made spaghetti and meatballs the other day, so I'm gonna make Alfredo now. But yeah, as per usual, it was a pleasure having the both of you here, and anybody else who might have been watching, and anyone who's watching this over on the YouTubes. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and everyone continues to have a wonderful evening. Let's see, so the whole outro thing, let's try and do that. So, I stream almost every Wednesday over on twitch.tv as /A-grade-day, that's AGRAEYDAY. I post my videos up on the YouTubes. I just realized I didn't post a YouTube video last week. Well, it'd be that way sometimes. I post most of my videos over there, working on some other stuff in the future. We've got some big things planned. Probably. We're getting there. I post over on TikTok occasionally, so you can go follow me there for random skits, occasional informational stuff, and random cat videos. You can also follow me over on Twitter if you want updates on when I'm streaming, when new videos come out, and occasional 3 a.m. thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful. Don't have a good day, have a great day. Alright, bye y'all! We have to find the Kamala. I really hope the water destroys it. Let's go. So that's what I need the bucket for. What? Water cleans the water. With enough water, you can clean anything, even water. We have to find the Kamala. I really hope the water destroys it. Let's go. So that's what I need the bucket for. What? Water cleans the water. With enough water, you can clean anything, even water. Sorry, that was loud. I apologize. Oh my god. I saw that clip. Oh jeez, I'm sorry. Mind you.